Hey folks, Mike here just want to show you what's going on in our backyards and that right around here. This is what Don Arnold and Justin Trudeau allows. Right there is the House of Nazareth, and they're allowing all this shit to happen. Right across the street here in these bushes, here we'll take a quick look right here. Actually, let's go over and I'm going to show you. This is one of the dens. You can see the pathway here. This is one of the dens that they like to come in and shoot up, do their drugs, whatever. Now, as you can see, there's all new housing going in here. Crane right there. You can get this, but that's where they come. And this is what they're doing. Look at the garbage down here. Hey, look at all this shit. Garbage everywhere. Look. You see it everywhere. They're even having fires here. Like, look at all this shit here. And then they go over, and then there's another one right there inside those trees. And then there's another one just on the other side of those trees, right over there. And because of this neighborhood, these people actually were forced to move out. These people here may have to move in the blue house right here. These people are having problems. These people are spending money on their homes trying to fix them up, and they're being pushed out. Same with those people straight ahead. Now, right here, this used to be my house. In this lot right here. It burnt down years ago, but I had a house right here back in 2012. And look, if we zoom in down the end of the street there, you can see more of them just sitting around shooting up. You know, we have, look, there's more of them coming right there. They're coming from that other fucking drug den over here. And this is what they're doing. All up through here. Disgusting. Disgusting, disgusting. This is the Trudeau government doing this. And it's also the mayor of Moncton doing this. She had a chance to clean this up, and what she do, she made it worse by closing all the rooming houses in the city. This is the one I'm in right now, is one of the last ones left. When I had my house here, right there, that was my driveway actually right here. I used to rent out rooms there. Back in 2007 to 2011, I ran a property management company here in the city. At one point I had 62 homes and 2 apartment buildings that I was managing. That's not counting all the cottages out in Parlay Beach and Shediac that I used to manage. And now, you know, there's nothing left here. Like the mayor, she shut down, 12, 14 rooming houses so that she could put up fancy apartment buildings. This isn't one of the sites, but this used to actually be a co-op, food store right there, and they had to close because of all the rats and everything, because of right here, all down here, it's all swamp and that, and on the other side there, just on the other side of those trees over there, there's the Chocolate River. Now most of this down this way along the river was actually Like all along here, parts, there was old docks and ship making and stuff like that. That used to happen back here years and years and years ago. And then just over here on the other side of that hill over there, that used to be the city dump. And it goes right into the Petitcodiac River, and which is better known as the Chocolate River. But you have all this, and they wonder why we have such vagrancy. What, like, look, I don't own the property anymore. I don't have to cut the grass. But like the guy that has the house back, you know, or the property back, he owns all this property here, including this house right here. And he won't do nothing with it. This house here, I guarantee you, will get tore down. It will get tore down by the end of summer. Or something will happen, but this house will never be rented out again. I know that because I back in 2012, this place was full of mold. And I know for a fact that he didn't fix it, and it's got got a bunch of knob and tube wiring and everything all through this house. It's just bad. But again, with these people, like, this is getting ridiculous. Like, the government is just allowing all this shit to happen every day. And then we got these so-called safe injection sites. Well, I haven't seen any here, unless, of course, the ones that I just showed you down here in the trees and that. They're the only ones that are what they call, and honestly, now let's get something straight, folks. Hard drugs are illegal, period. But because of what happened out in BC, all the police across Canada now think that it's okay to do it anywhere you want. So they will not arrest people. That's why, like I said, these people right up around the corner here, sitting in the laneway, doing their drugs and that. Cops don't care. They're not going to arrest them. Oh, it's just petty charges, just petty. It's not petty charges. My position on all of this, and after working in the social service industry for over 30 years, being an addiction counselor, and doing a lot of other work since 1985, I feel that I might have a little bit of a grasp on what's actually going on. So my idea to the Poilievre government is to recriminalize all hard drugs. There's no recorded history anywhere that someone's OD'd on marijuana. You know, I would just leave the marijuana laws alone. It's a natural plant. But when it comes to heroin, speed, morphine, meth, and all this other shit that they got coming, fentanyl, like, these things, you know, people are doing on the streets. So all these things have to be criminalized again. I believe that we should reinstitute the Mental Health Act, where we have mental health hospitals again. There's too many people that are out on the street. I've seen it for myself. I watched shelters go from, average, you can walk up and you can get a bed anytime type thing, to overflow where you have to turn people away in a shelter that's got like 1,400 emergency beds in it. I've seen this happen, created, when I believe it was the Harper government that started it with the, what they said is, anybody that's in these mental institutions, as long as they're not a harm to themselves or to the public when they're on their medication, they kicked them all out. Didn't matter who it was, they just kicked them all out. Didn't matter. And what happens? We're talking about mentally handicapped people. They don't know how to take their drugs properly unless they're, given to them every day. Shelters aren't allowed to dispense them because they don't have registered nurses or even a pharmacist assistant, and that to follow the directions. Not just anybody can hand out medication. So they don't have this resource. So what do? Well, they're out on the street. They're going nuts. You see it all over. I've seen it from coast to coast, from Sydney, Nova Scotia, all the way out to Vancouver, BC. In just over 2 years, I managed to check in on different shelters and that in the homeless situation right across Canada. Wasn't intended, but it worked out that way. But if we start putting these people back in, lock them up. All these people you want to call addictions and that, a mental health issue, then put them in a mental health institution. Make sure that they get clean, and the government has to put up supportive housing, and the city needs to put up rooming houses. The city owns no rooming houses. Gee, this big property right here to buy from Dan, from this house all the way down to that house. I got a plan. I have drawings and stuff like that, because this property actually goes right out to Assumption, which is right across that gully and everything, as you can see how they're building over there, those buildings there. So it actually goes right out to Assumption Boulevard. There's enough room there to put over 300 rooms. 300. We have just over 500 people in the city that are in shelters and that. The shelters are to the max here. That's why you have so many people sleeping on the streets. So you really need to do something about the housing part. So once they get out of the recovery and that, and dry out for about 6-8 months, because it's not a 30-day or 28-day program or anything like that. There's no such thing as anybody getting clean within 28 days on a program, period. I don't care who you are. I will prove you wrong 100% every time. It takes time. You need to be able to change your thoughts. You need to be able to change the people that you hang with. You need to be able to change your perspective. You need to be able to think. And if you're constantly on drugs, you're not thinking. So these people need to be, if you get arrested and you got drugs on you, as far as I'm concerned, bang. You get arrested, and then you go to the hospital, and you're put in there until you see the judge, and then the judge will sentence you to stay there until for this required amount of time. It's usually around 9 months to make sure that you're clean. But then give them a place to go to when they get out. So why not have the supportive housing right around that, so that they can go in and they'd be able to talk to people right there? We have so many different mental health buildings throughout just this city alone. That's not counting all the mental health workers that work out of their cars, out of their homes and that, at different clinics and all this stuff, but it all comes out of the Mental Health Act fund. We're spending way too much money on mental health when it's out here on the street, when it should be contained behind walls. Period. End of story. So I know a lot of people are going to give me controversy over this. I really don't care anymore. I tried being nice. I'm an avid fighter. I'm an avid activist, but this has gone on too long. Too many people are dying in the streets. And because of this drug policy that they have out in BC, as far as I'm concerned, Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh should be held accountable for, what is it now, over 2,000 overdose deaths. It should be negligible homicide because he facilitated in their deaths. If it was me or anybody else, I was giving somebody drugs and they overdosed and I was giving them the needles and everything else to do it, I would be charged with negligible homicide. Both of them, and even the premier of BC, whoever it was then, but it's Ebbs now, but whoever it was before him should also be, because they were the ones that brought this in. You know, you want to reduce crime, get rid of the mental people on the streets. You want to get rid, people want to save money, have lower insurance on their businesses and that. Take the people off the street that are going in and robbing all these stores. Their insurance goes up. They got to pay insurance and that to be there. Why should they have to pay for that when it's a mental health issue and it should be the government that's paying for it because they're the ones who's facilitating the whole thing? So that's just my rant, but just remember, this is my new channel. It's called Ashcan 2. I'm originally the Ashamed Canadian. Please try and give this channel as much love as you did my other channel. And remember, if you see something, record it, especially your government. I have a thing that I'm going to be coming out with here in the next couple of days. I'm just waiting for all the FOIA requests to come in. They should be in by Monday or Tuesday. And then we're going to take a look at how social services are treating people in this city. So I've been doing some work behind the scenes, and I've been having some medical problems, but I am still here, folks. And I lost everything I owned in the fire, as you can see on this channel here. Just go back and check. And I put what I had recorded on this channel uncut. So, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hug your neighbor,